One minute, you're sailing under a brilliant blue sky. The next, you're fighting for your life. My story, my sea rescue adventure, began on a day just like that, perfect, until it wasn't. I'd been planning this solo trip for months, charting a course along the coast. My boat, the Wanderer, was my pride and joy, a sturdy vessel I trusted completely. The first few days were idyllic. Dolphins raced my bow, the sunsets were spectacular, and the rhythm of the waves was a perfect lullaby. I felt free, completely in my element. The sky, which had been a gentle periwinkle, turned a bruised, angry purple. The wind began to howl, not just whistle, and the sea swelled into monstrous, rolling hills of dark water. The Wanderer, which had felt so robust, was now being tossed around like a toy. Waves crashed over the deck, drenching everything and sending a chilling spray into the cabin. I scrambled to secure everything, my heart pounding against my ribs. I reefed the sails, trying to reduce the power the storm had over my boat, but the wind was relentless. Then, I heard it, a deafening crack that shot through the noise of the storm like a rifle shot. In that moment, the Wanderer was no longer a sailboat. It was just a cork bobbing helplessly in a furious ocean. The engine was my next hope, but when I tried to start it, all I got was a choked sputter. The waves had swamped it. I was dead in the water, completely at the mercy of the storm. Panic is a cold, creeping thing. It tried to grip me, telling me it was over, but then, training kicked in. Years of sailing lessons, safety drills, and listening to old salt tales, it all came rushing back. First things first, survival. I grabbed my emergency kit and my satellite phone, a piece of gear I had once considered an expensive luxury. Now, it was my only lifeline. With trembling fingers, I activated the emergency beacon and made the call. The voice on the other end was calm, professional. They had my coordinates. They asked about my condition, the state of my vessel. Hearing that voice cut through the chaos, a tiny anchor in the swirling madness, they told me to hang on, that help was on its way. But on its way could mean hours, and the storm was getting worse. The boat was taking on water. Every wave that broke over the side seemed to steal a little more of its buoyancy. I started bailing, a frantic, desperate rhythm of scoop and toss. It felt futile, like trying to empty the ocean with a bucket, but it was action. It kept the fear at bay. It kept me warm. The world shrank to just me, the rising water in the cabin, and the endless, roaring dark. Hours blurred together. The cold was seeping into my bones, and my muscles screamed in protest. I thought about my family, my friends. I thought about all the things I still wanted to do. It's funny what goes through your mind in moments like that. It wasn't a highlight reel of my life, but more a quiet resolve not to let this be the end of the story. Then, through the gloom, I saw it. A light. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, a hallucination brought on by exhaustion and cold. But it grew steadily brighter, cutting a path through the rain and spray. A searchlight. I've never seen anything so beautiful in my entire life. It was a Coast Guard vessel, a beast of a ship that seemed to shrug off the waves that had been battering me. They maneuvered skillfully, their crew moving with a practiced efficiency that was incredible to watch. They launched a smaller inflatable boat, and two rescuers, clad in bright orange, powered through the chop towards me. Getting from my sinking boat to theirs was the most terrifying part of the whole ordeal. We had to time the transfer perfectly between giant swells. One wrong move, and I could be crushed between the two vessels. They shouted instructions, their voices clear and confident over the wind. On the next rise, get ready to jump. We've got you. I jumped. For a split second, I was airborne, suspended between my wrecked dream and my salvation. Strong hands grabbed me, pulling me into the inflatable. The crew was amazing. They checked me over, gave me hot, sweet coffee that tasted like life itself, and talked to me, keeping my mind off what I had just been through. I watched from the bridge as the Wanderer, my home on the water, finally slipped beneath the waves. There was a pang of sadness, a real sense of loss, but it was overshadowed by a profound sense of gratitude. Looking back, the experience changed me. It taught me about the raw power of nature and the importance of being prepared. But more than that, it showed me the best of humanity. Those rescuers, the men and women of the Coast Guard, they run towards the storm when everyone else is running away. They are a special kind of brave. My sea rescue adventure wasn't the journey I planned, but it's a story I'll carry with me forever.